Greetings. Welcome to episode 3. I thought this would be kind of funny. So episode 1, snow coming down in Petersburg. It was quite cold, nice winter storm. And today it's 60 degrees outside. So I'm gonna go for a photo walk. You can come with me. I've walked these streets so much for photo walks and taken so many cameras. I'm very particular now about what I'll shoot. Almost like the old days when you had film and you didn't want to take a shot because film was expensive because you had to get it developed and you didn't know what you got till you shot it, so you didn't experiment. So I remember taking very few photos. It had to be a good shot. That's what I like about digital. You can take as many shots as you want, maybe take photos that you wouldn't have if there was a cost involved. And so you get stuff you wouldn't have gotten in the old days. But I'm just enjoying the weather. I encourage you to go on photo walks, either in your own yard, your neighborhood, drive to a location, just get out, walk with your camera, and just observe. It's sort of like a cross between landscape and street photography. You kind of have a mix. You're taking pictures of objects and locations, buildings, and then with the street, maybe people. There's not a lot of people that walk around here in Old Towne, at least at this time of the year. But because of the low number, it's hard to do the street photography because they see what you're doing. But I've done it on occasion and it's fun, but it's sparse. Not like if you're in Boston or New York. Of course, there's quite a few abandoned properties in Petersburg, and many of them have been here for many, many years. So they're worth refurbishing. But that also adds an element of interest, exploring abandoned locations. But there's a lot of renovation going on too, so that's a good sign. New houses being built, old ones being renovated. So that's kind of cool. That's Seward Luggage, or what's left of it. It's interesting history with Seward Luggage. They were the largest manufacturer of luggage a century or so ago, right here in Petersburg. The building sat vacant for years. They were renovated, turned into apartments, and then there was a fire that burned down a large portion of the building. But talking about the past and memories, I'm coming down here because my grandfather was born on Hinton Street, which we're headed to. And there's so many pictures of him walking around with Seward Luggage in the background. Of course, there was a lot more railroad activity in Petersburg back then. A lot of railroad tracks, but not so much now. But let me take you to where my grandfather was born. Another sad little fact about Petersburg is they're terrible maintaining and replacing the bridges here in the city. It's taken them sometimes years, close to a decade, to replace some of the bridges in the city. And this is one of them. Lots of creeks, streams, and underwater canals in Petersburg. Lots of beauty, lots of history. Here we have the house that was recently renovated. Sat vacant for many years. I love seeing that. But anyway, let's head to Hinton Street, where my grandfather was born. Got a lot of printed photos from his lifetime, pictures of my father when he was born. So you see another connection to the city of Petersburg. So there's the house where my grandfather grew up, where he was actually born. Still there. I'm glad people are living in it, not sitting vacant. There's the backyard of the house, and right behind the house were tracks, railroad tracks, and I've got so many pictures of him along those railroad tracks, and you can see Seward Luggage in the background just like this. Of course, it was a lot more cleaned up back then. But all the railroad tracks are gone. Lots of pictures of that backyard over there. Right beside vacant homes that are falling apart, you can hear renovation going on. So that's a good thing. I hope these houses, if it's even viable, can get renovated. The architecture is pretty amazing. I love the details of these buildings. But it also gives you some interesting things to photograph if you're interested in that kind of thing. The decay. This vacant house behind me. I don't know if you can see the smoke coming out of the chimney. That's not good. So I just called 911. Hopefully this house does not burn down. I'd rather see it renovated. do like this building. Those colors are fabulous. I really want to do an episode or two on the tunnels in Petersburg. There's quite a few of them. Some actually go underground and connect to basements. So during the time of slavery, the Underground Railroad came through Petersburg. Now the term Underground Railroad doesn't mean it was actually underground. It was just hidden from plain sight. But when they came to Petersburg, they actually did go underground through the tunnels to get through the city. And where they connect to basements could have been how they did that. But this was the way they got to Richmond, and then on up north, they came through Petersburg. Well, that was a lot of fun. I'm actually sweating. And just a few days ago, I was freezing to death, covered in snow. Like I said, welcome to Virginia. This is Virginia weather. Snow yesterday, summertime today. There's just an idea of what you can see in Old Town, Petersburg. I love walking around Old Town with my camera. It's very relaxing, gives me a chance to think and come up with new ideas. I highly recommend going on photo walks, or just going on walks, period. But it's very useful, keeps the creative juices going, and you get outdoors, which is very important. And maybe I shouldn't be looking at myself, I should be looking at the camera back. I don't do this kind of thing, I'm an old